Wholesome puppy food, chicken, meal, and rice. Puppy food review. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into this review. You feel me? We're going to get into it. I'm trying to be more animated, more creative, man. People don't like it when you don't be entertaining, when you don't shuck and jive. You got to shuck and jive for these folk now. Come on now. 1 and a 2. Hit the motherfucking 2-step now. Shuck and jive, damn it. So here we go. We got this puppy food. It's a chicken, meal, and rice formula. It supports brain development with whole grain, balanced omega-6s and 3s, and it ain't got no corn, wheat, or soy in it. I guess if you don't have corn, wheat, or soy, that makes you special. Now, I'm sorry I cut the bag open because I already did this dog food review, but I didn't have the play button on. So this is my second time doing a review. Y'all just don't know it. It's my second time. Only I know it. So first ingredient, chicken meal. Chicken meal is a good ingredient. It's ground up chicken and bone. It's a concentrated substance. It's high in protein. I believe that chicken meal has actually more protein than actual chicken. I believe it's 30% protein. Could be wrong though. Do your own research. Next, we got brown rice. Brown rice is a great carbohydrate. Believe it or not, dogs need carbs. My dogs are constantly eating grass. Dogs need carbohydrates. If you just feed them meat, it will lead to heart disease. Also, if you just feed them meat, they will constantly be hungry, no matter how much meat I give my dogs. I mean, literally 5-6 pounds of meat, they'll still be hungry. But when they get some good old crappy dog food in their system, it fills them right on up. So next, we got peas. Peas, I guess that's just giving it that extra protein because the dog food bag has to be economical. So they got to give you those peas in there to give it that extra protein, to bring that protein level up without actually using meat. Because you can't be 30% protein with just meat. It'd be too expensive for them. Or maybe it won't be, I don't know. But that's what they always do. Next, we got white fish meal, or we got preserved with mixed tocopherols. Tocopherols are different types of fats. So it's preserved with different fats, beef fat, and you got chicken fat. Beef fat and pig fat, I believe. Next, you got white fish meal. Fish meal has a lot of protein in it, a lot of omega-3s and 6s, and it's an excellent protein source. It's probably more than likely just some bones, ground up bone, or fish tails, or heads, and guts, whatever humans didn't eat. Next, we got beet pulp. Beet pulp is just a fiber. It's the beets after it's been drained of all its sugars. This actually helps the dog level out those carbohydrates so that the sugars don't straight up overwhelm them. The beets help level out the carbs because these dog foods have high carbs, so the beets level that out. Next, you got flaxseed. That flaxseed actually adds the omega-3s or 6s. Why do you need flaxseed if you got fish meal? Obviously, it wasn't enough fish meal, so they added the flaxseed. Next, you got apples, blueberries, carrots, cranberries, spinach. All of those ingredients add nutrients and antioxidants and fibers and different things like that. And people love reading that, and it makes them feel like they're doing something special for their dog. But in actuality, it's a dried up food, so we don't really know how much you need that in there and what condition it was in there and what's the nutritional value after you cook it. But the fact that they put that in there, I guess is good. Maybe the dog gets something out of it. I'm not sure, but let's just say, hey, it's nice to know that they tried. So with all these ingredients give me is basically they try to do their best to make this dog food a great source of nutrients and different meats. So next, let's get into the nutritional levels as far as protein. Protein, we got 30% protein, pretty high. We got fat, cured fat, we got 20%. We got docosahexaaminic acid, DHA. This DHA is good for brain development. Also, I believe, I think it's good for the brain and the joints. So that your dog doesn't have any joint or joint issues, or, doesn't have any issues with his joints, and help build the dog up, so it'll be strong and fit and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that is an added plus. Plus it has omega-6, omega-3s. It has 3% omega-6s and 0.4% omega-3s. This is going to help with the skin and the eyes and the fur. Your dog's going to have a shiny coat. Your dog's going to have great joints. Your dog's going to have a healthy brain. So this dog food is pretty good. Next, we get into the calories, and it's 390 calories per cup, which is pretty high and pretty good. So it's going to give that puppy a lot of energy. Next, let's get into the feeding instructions. So if you got a 100-pound dog and it says weight at maturity, so you're going off of what the dog is going to weigh in the future, and you're going, to 7 months, and I guess your puppy stays a puppy for 2 years, but let's just say 6 cups if your dog's going to be 100 pounds a day. That's funny because I don't feed my dogs that much dog food each day. Like, okay, so they're saying that each cup is measured approximately 3 ounces. So 8 ounces measuring cup is 3 ounces of this food. Okay, that's good to know. I never really looked into that before, but it says 8-ounce measuring cup is 3.9 ounces of the food. So basically, if you weigh your dog food, it'll be different. Like, because cups are different. So they want you to get basically 6.5 cups. So 6.5 cups if your dog is going to be 100 pounds. I don't give my dogs that much food, but my dogs don't look bad. Like, they could be bigger, they could be heavier, but I don't see any bones. And that's something I'm kind of thinking, like, should I increase the feeding on the dogs, or should I just keep what I do and keep them looking good? Because they have a healthy appetite and they never waste any food. And I guess it's kind of good to keep them hungry and not waste food, because if they waste the food, then it just attracts more rodents. But on a side note, let's look at the size of these kibbles, man. All right, guys. So if you see these kibbles are extremely small. If I had to say how big they are smaller than a kernel of corn. With that being said, let's give them a smell. I smell a slight amount of chicken, but not too much. I mean, a slight amount of fish, but not too much. So the fact that it has a fish meal in there, it might not be that much of it, man. They might have literally just sprinkled some of that in there, because I don't smell a heavy fish smell. And what I'll say is, those little pieces of dog food are so small. I mean, you don't want to give this dog food to a dog that is over 3 or 4 weeks. This dog food is made for puppies that are like 3, 4 weeks old. Those little pieces of food are so small that could really get a dog sick and really kill a dog. But that's all we got to say about that, man. All I can say about this food is it got some good ingredients in it. It's got a good amount of protein, a good amount of fat. So it's definitely good for your dogs. I just don't like the size of those pieces. Those pieces will choke a dog for sure. And the only way around that is if you take those pieces of dog food, if you soak it in water. And who has time to do that? Nobody. And so you're going to end up choking the shit out of a dog. But other than that, it's a good dog food.